Now, Senator Bernie Sanders is not happy with the Trump budget, which is basically a reflection of their priorities in the White House. Now, he told Politics USA in a statement earlier today that the Trump budget introduced is morally bankrupt and bad economic policy. Well, that is fairly clear. He said during the campaign, Donald Trump promised that the wealthy would not get a tax break and that Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid would not be cut. In fact, we have a video of Donald Trump promising not to cut Medicare and Social Security.
You've been paying into Social Security and Medicare, by the way. Let's put them in this, because Medicare does work. With both, you have tremendous waste, fraud, and abuse. We're going to take care of that, okay? But we're not going to cut your Social Security, and we're not cutting your Medicare. We're going to take jobs back from all these countries that are ripping us off. We're going to become a wealthy country again, and we're going to be able to save your Social Security. We're not taking
your Social Security. We're not going to cut your Social Security. He also made the same promise about Medicaid. We're not going to cut Medicaid. No, we care about poor people, so we're not going to cut your Medicaid. Okay, these programs off limits. Trump's not going to cut them. Trump's going to bring back jobs. Well, that didn't necessarily happen. Now, the budget, of course, does the opposite. Trump's budget, according to Bernie Sanders, pays for his huge tax breaks for the rich and large corporations by slashing Medicaid by $1.3 trillion, cutting Medicare by $554 billion, and slicing $10 billion from the Social Security Disability Insurance Program. He said this budget is nothing less than a major transfer of wealth from the middle class and working families to the top 1% and large corporations. He continues, meanwhile, at a time when the U.S. spends more on defense than the next 12 countries combined, the Trump budget calls for a massive increase in military spending, paid for by cutting $57 billion in domestic spending from the bipartisan budget agreement that was signed into law just a few days ago. So, hey, Democrats that signed this bill, do you feel stupid yet? And the Republicans, they're like, oh, yeah, agreement. Yeah, we signed an agreement. Guess what? We don't care about the agreement. We don't care at all. In fact, the White House says, let's take that money and we'll put it into more defense because screw you. That's why. That's what this is. Now, he continues by saying this is a budget for the billionaire class, for Wall Street, for corporate CEOs, for defense contractors, and for the wealthiest people in this country. It must be defeated. Now, later on, he also said that this is not just in the Trump budget. This is the Koch budget. So this is what the Koch brothers wanted when it came to a dream budget. Okay. So, look, everything that he says here is true. This budget is a disaster. Now, the good news is that it doesn't have any chance of passing, but there is a reason that it's very important. Look, every president puts out a budget that lays out their priorities. It basically says, this is what we would do if Congress wasn't in our way. This is exactly what we want to see for the country. This is our vision for the country. Okay, well, now you see the vision, the Trump vision for the country. Cutting food stamps, turning it into a literal poor person's blue apron, cutting Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, housing assistance, heating assistance, student or Pell Grants, making sure that they cut student loans, screwing over borrowers, all while giving more and more money to the military industrial complex and a wall between us and Mexico. Speaking of the wall, I'm starting to think that that wall might be there to keep us in. Because after the Republicans are done selling off this country to the private interests and screwing over poor people, a lot of us are going to want to leave. Just saying. But seriously, though, these are the priorities of the so-called populist Republican president. This is what right-wing populism gets. Add in a bit of demagoguery for Muslims and Mexicans. This is what a Republican populist looks like. Doesn't look like he's got very popular priorities. There was a poll where a lot of these cuts were very deeply unpopular with the majority of the American people. At best, President Trump doesn't care about you. At worst, he's lied to your face multiple times, over and over. Now, sadly, I do not see a lot of diehard Trump supporters caring, even if it's their own benefits that end up getting cut. This is a guy who bragged about being able to shoot somebody in Fifth Avenue and not lose a single person. And I'm starting to think that if it's a poor person that ends up getting shot in Fifth Avenue by Trump, his supporters would cheer him on. Republicans don't care about you. If this is their priority, if these are their goals, then that should show you that everything you need to know about what the Republican Party actually stands for. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.